So it's really finding your passion, start right away, develop thick skin. True.
Those three things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then lastly,
Yeah.
the last thing, and I think I already mentioned it, is that be okay to just start something. Yeah. Do not, beat yourself up. Oh, it's been 5 years, it's been 10 years, I haven't accomplished anything. Your purpose might be just to start something.
How I'm inspired.
In Australia.
We are a community who support and help each other.
Hey, I'm Martin. This is Entrepreneur Beach Club Philippines, a community of entrepreneurs, business owners, startups, aspiring entrepreneurs, freelancers, and digital nomads, where we help connect, inspire, influence, guide, collaborate, motivate, learn, and at the same time, have fun with fellow like-minded people and build meaningful relationships. Welcome to our show. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing for more videos like this. We want to thank our venue sponsor, the company IT Park Branch, for supporting us. Company CEBU is a co-working space that provides private offices, executive offices, dedicated desks, meeting rooms, and an event space. Check out their co-working space and more updates in their social media pages. In this episode, we're going to talk about challenges of being the very first publishing company that started here in Cebu. Together with our guest, Donald Villamero, the founder and president of D&Co Publishing. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, so D&Co Publishing, as you've said, we're a startup publishing house here in Cebu City. This house started in 2018. That's when I founded it, and so far we have already published our first book, which is also happened to be Cebu's first fiction novel for the what do you call this, the youths or the young adults. So it's a good book. It's now available in National Bookstore, and
What's it called?
it is called Brandy Poo's Time Traveling Adventures. Yeah. So
Can you tell us like a little story summary about the book?
the story about the book is that it is a journey of a Shih Tzu dog. You know the Shih Tzu dog? They're lap dogs. They're very small. And now the dog, his name is Brandy Poo. He's having a dilemma. His dilemma is that he's not like other dogs. He's not strong. He's very small. And, despite because of his size and also that he is growing old, he feels like his humans, or those, who the humans taking care of him, he feels that they do not love him just as much when he was younger. Yeah, so he is having this dilemma of what his true purpose is. And so he eventually, because of something happened, and you have to read the book to know, but he was brought to his ancestors. Meaning there is an accepted fact that Shih Tzu dogs came from the royal kennel of Empress Dowager Cixi. She's an empress in ancient China. So there is that history, and so the author, her name is Janice Y. Perez, somehow connected the real history of the Shih Tzu with the story. And then, so the adventure goes, Brandy Poo trying to, see who he really is. He's trying his hard to find who he really is. And eventually found it. He found the courage that he really needed to. And it's a warm fantasy type of book that I know young adults or even adults will really appreciate.
Is this like some kind of based on a true story or experience?
It's not really true story. I don't think it's true story because but somehow it's just, I know that the author is just really passionate about dogs, and yeah, I think we should all be passionate.
Is the story somehow like related to the D&Co publishing somehow? You know?
Yeah, well, if you can say that, there's a connection being, right now it's a D&Co, right now we are just we are starting publishing house, and to tell you honestly, there is no book industry in Cebu, and even the book industry in the Philippines is not comparable to what we have in the international or in the global scene. So um, you can say that we are a little dog, we are a lap dog in the in a
In the
kennel
biggest,
of
yeah.
hounds and big dogs, but
Wolves.
with
Yeah.
wolves, but we're getting there, slowly. Yeah,
And
slowly.
how this did this idea all started?
It started when I was in Singapore. I lived there for 8 years, and I remember I was working for two global publishing companies. First with Wiley, and then with Wiley Publishing, and then with Pearson. After Wiley, I transferred to. I was hired by Pearson, which is the number one global publishing,
In
the
the
number
world?
one publishing house in the world.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Then I worked there for almost 5 years, and then during I was in the office and I was like sitting down, and then it just dawned on me, like there are so many good authors in Cebu or in the Philippines, but we do not have this kind of
Platform to
market
share.
platform or even passion for bookmaking or for for telling stories in book form or in any other publishing format. And I was like, it's an untapped market. Philippines is, and Cebu especially is. And I was like, why don't I start something like this? Create, what I learn, have all my learning from these publishing companies, global publishing companies, and bring them here to Cebu. So yeah,
That's really
that's how
cool.
we
So
started.
yeah, like so before anything else, you have a very interesting ultimate goal or advocacy for your company or local authors.
Mm.
Because I read about it in your website.
Okay.
Yeah, so that
Yes.
ultimate goal. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes. So we are doing this, and I am doing this because I'm really passionate about learning. Um, was really the foundation of all of this. Um, so our vision really is that one day Cebu will be a hub for for best-selling authors. To have best-selling authors come from Cebu, but also a place to get high quality content, and that is in academic books or in trade books. So yeah, so that's our vision, and our mission right now is that our mission right now is to have a best-selling author, and I know it will take some time for us to get there, although we have just started with our first book, and so far the reception is really good. And what I meant by that is that we were able, and I think also the first time a Cebu based book is in the shelves of National Bookstore.
It's a huge
It is a
accomplishment
huge
already.
accomplishment, It's because National Bookstore is the largest bookstore chain in the Philippines. And, before I never thought it's possible, Like, who are we? We're just starting. They would never listen to us, but they love the idea, and our mission and vision resonated with them. And then they're like, sure, well, go ahead and have your book, in all National Bookstore branches in Cebu. And yeah, they say the rest is history, but we're so grateful that we were able to accomplish it. If there is one thing I mean, because it's a startup and somehow you don't want to fail, but there is also a big chance that you could, and
It's part of the process.
it's part of the process. But if ever we are going to fail, we we are at peace, that we were able to accomplish things that we just really thought it would be done. Mm.
That's true. So how did you get into this, passion into like publishing
Mm.
and books and
Yeah.
all? Yeah.
I actually, I remember looking back when I used to believe in Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah.
When I was really young, I used to believe in Santa Claus, and my parents always encouraged us to write a letter to Santa. And always, I'm very consistent every Christmas time for all my childhood. In my letter to Santa, all I ask for is a children's book. So I'm really, really into storytelling. It's a sort of escape for me. And then I remember when I used to watch, like children cartoons. And then, I don't know at the time you have the VHS.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
I was very young. You cannot, you cannot just rewind.
Yeah, you have to
You
have
have
that
to.
rewinder.
Mhm.
Some rewinders looks like
A car.
Yeah.
And it's so, it was a daunting task. I mean, daunting what a
Those
task
were
for
the
me. So it was
technology.
very daunting. So I was like, no, I cannot do that. So what I do, I remember the story in my mind, and I have a notebook, a blank notebook. Then I just draw. I draw the characters out of my mind, and I transfer the
Yeah.
stories in my mind to this book.
Oh,
So so that's how all the passion started, and then after that I graduated journalism in college, and at the time I didn't think
Expected.
that I didn't think I will get into publishing. I always thought that I'm going to own my own newspaper company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then after college, I sidetrack a bit to different jobs, odd jobs, and then I found myself in a publishing house, in a self-publishing house. Here, that
Where
was
is
here in Cebu,
Is it?
but
That's-
they're based in Philadelphia.
Oh.
And then after that, I went to Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and was hired by Wiley. So
That's really cool. I'm just really curious. What was like your first book that made you like really love, reading children's
Disney
book?
books,
Ah,
the Disney
awesome.
books. Yes, all the Disney books. I
Yeah.
have Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, all Dumbo.
Yeah. Oh, you have
Um,
the movies coming.
Yes,
Yes,
actually it's showing.
Yeah. Oh, Dumbo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's showing. Dumbo, all those, even the not the Disney ones.
Yeah.
The Midas gold, the Midas touch, when he touch everything
That one,
turns to
yeah.
gold. Yeah,
Those
so
stories, yeah. I
all
remember
those
those.
Hansel and Gretel.
But what's
so-
your favorite or most memorable, like book? Like yeah.
the I think my favorite author is my favorite author is Charles Dickens, and his book that is really so close to my heart is Oliver Twist, the story of Oliver Twist, and also we have The Tale of Two Cities, which is also really good, and A Christmas Carol. So those are like top three, but if I can rank them, Oliver Twist really is number one, and then A Christmas Carol.
I have a question. So, another. I mean, just curious. Are you like planning to write your own book?
Yeah.
Soon? Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be able to do that.
Pretty cool.
I'm
That's awesome.
thinking of already have a story.
Yeah.
I have 2 months ago. I've already finished my character building. You know, but I still have to put them into like a manuscript form, which I'm really trying to get to do, but not now.
Yeah.
My focus is on building the
company.
the company
Yeah.
first.
Just like a side, you know, when you have free time.
Yes, when I have free time, yeah,
Mm.
we'll see.
So, what were like the greatest challenges of starting a publishing company in Cebu?
Yeah, there is a really a huge challenge. It's because there's no culture, and we are we're basically starting it. It's crazy. So challenge is that people do not know.
Awareness. Is it
Yeah, there's no awareness because
Yeah.
again there's no book industry and people are saying me, oh, your idea is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, how
But
can
all
you?
great people started with this.
Yeah, with crazy ideas.
Yeah.
And I just really feel like maybe there is no book culture here. No,
Or not yet.
yeah, because the process is going to be very slow and it's going to be very painstaking, and you have to have the passion to really do this. Like, when you go to, for example, bookstores, it's like, usually all they sell, they sell all books from Manila,
Yeah.
and these are like books of influencers, those
Yeah.
are celebrities.
True.
And then for the stories, we have the international publishers. So, they were like, oh, is your book any good? So you have that, and then people will say, oh, it's just a local book. People will not take it seriously, and so we have that, and I think that is for me, the reception of the people. That is just really, really hard. For people to take us seriously. But hopefully, with what we have accomplished so far, hopefully slowly we're going to change that. And one of our mission is to really, in our school level, we do not have, when I was working in Singapore, my colleagues there, they are publishing majors,
Yeah.
graduate in a publishing course, and we don't have that in our schools. So I think that's also part why we do not have that culture, because it's not in our education. It's not an industry that is in the back of our minds. It's not like engineering or medicine. So that's one of our mission, is to really bring more and mold more publishing professionals here in
But I
Cebu.
think instead of like putting putting that into the school system, why not like have it as a like a workshop or something, like online courses, like
Yeah.
what is actually doing right this.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
thing is, to be honest, publishing is a boring industry. It is not. It's a boring industry.
Maybe for those who are not passionate about it.
Yeah, it's a boring industry, and so you have to have. I think, like, for me personally, I think it would also be better to start them young, to start introducing it to young people, so that they will develop a sense of passion for it. Because especially with what is happening right now, like people always going for something, traveling and all
Yeah.
those. And now with publishing, you have to just sit down and read books. It has to have you have to have passion for it. And and it's something we can build on. You really have to build on it, one thing that I think, like, when I'm in the publishing industry, I would have really preferred it that when I was going through college, I already know how to proofread, how to copy edit work. you
true, that's
know.
true.
So or already know about the business of publishing. So I think, it would have been so much easier. And I'm telling you, there is an industry for it. I mean, maybe also one of the industry, why there's no industry here, because people do not see value in it, or it's not very valuable. But it is really, there is an industry
It's
for
just not
it.
yet, introduced.
Yeah, not really just introduced. And publishing is not merely just about books. Now we have audiobooks and ebooks, so it's very exciting. It's very exciting times for the industry.
Yeah, that's true. What are also your like challenges for clients, getting clients?
Well, actually, I didn't have much of a challenge. I felt like it was easy for me because again, it's an untapped market.
Yeah,
You can get so many authors here who are dying to have their books published. These are childhood dreams of theirs. Like this first book, the author is Janice Viper. She had this dream when she was 12 years old. And so when you identified, maybe one challenge is identifying the good authors, the good ones that really has a story and that can really write a good manuscript. That really has a gift for storytelling, and there are a lot out there. So many authors came up to me, wrote to me, went to our website, and just really dying for us to read their manuscript so that we can publish it. Now, it's right now, since we are just starting, we don't have much money, all those money.
Budget,
To publish all their work. So we're just really taking it one step at a time, and we're just telling them to just be very patient. We will get there. We really want to help you. And and also another client, because as a publishing, we're also trying to, right now our industry is still forming. We could not say that this is already it. Our business model is evolving and changing. So I mean, it's evolving and changing, and we have gotten some interest from international publishing houses who are asking us to do translations, and also
So you also have that service.
Who are asking us to do typesetting works and other production work, and we're entertaining them. So it also helped that I used to work for Pearson Global Publishing House. So I kind of know that market a little bit, the people, the important people in the industry. So that's why it's a little bit easier for me, but there's still challenges.
That's really cool. So, and do you have like simple advice to our listeners on how to overcome these challenges in your business or careers?
I think one thing that I've learned with the business and what I'm trying to do is that sometimes we have so much passion, so much dream, like a big dream for ourselves, that we want to change the world. We have that narrative, and we can do, but it's also very daunting, and it's also very scary and overwhelming, and sometimes for people the idea just paralyzes you, and you cannot act on it. You cannot act on your dream, and you just stop, or a big discouragement comes along, and you're like, that's it, I give up, it's too hard. But then the important thing is, what I realize is that you have to take it one step at a time. I know it's easier said than done, but for me, what helped me is that I have to take it one step at a time. But if I should fail, the most important thing is I started something. You have to have the idea or you have to accept that maybe you cannot really finish this in your lifetime, and that's okay, because you maybe second generation or third generation of you know, the third or second generation or someone will pick it up basing from your idea, and that's okay. The most important thing is you have to start something, and if that is your purpose for doing this, then that's good enough. You know, you really have to accept that it's okay. Like, you just really have to start something, and if you should fail, starting it is actually is your purpose, and that's yeah.
I think the greatest failure is, you know, like regretting not even starting
Something. Yeah, true. Me, it took me a while. I went home in 2016 from Singapore, and I started the company in 2018. I wish I could have started earlier.
It was last year.
Because it was, you know, those 2 years I didn't do anything. I didn't work on this. It's because I went there. I went to that overwhelming kind of, no, I cannot do that. It's too large. It's too big for me. Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I can't possibly do it. And then then in 2017, late 2017, I went to depression. It's because I don't feel like I know myself anymore, you know, and whatever money I was able to save in Singapore is really fastly going. It's really fastly dissolving, and then. And then in 2017, towards the end of 2017, I have no drive, no everything.
You were really like
I have nothing. I've like at the bottom, and then I was like, it kind of pushes me, because I really didn't have a choice but to just believe in my dreams. So I was like, it's either this or just really nothing. So
if in a vernacular term, some say mawala, like that,
yeah, true. Like, I mean, they say, you know, what's good about hitting rock bottom is there's no other way but up. So I was like, I have to just really give myself this chance and believe in my dreams. And when I believe in my dreams, I started talking to people, and then they feel the passion, and they started believing in my dreams and even helping me. And actually, where I am right now and where the company is right now, it's because of these people who was like, we are going to help you, and if you can only have any idea of the people and the number of people who helped us, like, oh my god.
Like I really firmly believe that, you know, you have to have this, you have to surround yourself with positive people, with like-minded people.
Yes, with like-minded people. And also,
positive.
You have to start to believe in your dreams, because once you believe in that, people see that, they will start to believe in you, and they will really help you. There's one time, he was a new friend. This one is like, it's just really a miracle, because he's a new friend. And then when I started talking about my idea, he was like, you know what, I want to help you. You don't have to pay me.
That's really cool.
For now, I just really, I mean, you know, I love working with people who feel like they can do anything, and who has big dreams for themselves. I mean, who have big dreams for themselves, and I just really want to help you. And now he is my layout artist.
Awesome.
And you know, that is and you know, to pay someone for a layout artist right now here is so expensive. And and you know, and these are like really generous people. I mean, sometimes, you know, sometimes they're just, sometimes, you know, you will just be amazed how just it is simple believing in yourself, people will also believe. And when you believe in your dreams, people will also believe in that dream, and they will really help you.
That's really good. So what tips do you have for like small and medium businesses that want to put up their own company?
Yeah.
Aside from like believing in themselves, because it's also really important. If you have this idea, you need to really start, not just talking about it and not really doing something about it. So what are your like really tips for
Yeah. So number one is that really find something you're passionate about. And sometimes people will say, what is passion?
Yeah.
Is it something that you like? Yes, it can be something that you like, something that makes you feel alive. You kind of those
when you wake
terms.
up,
Yeah,
just
you're like
excited.
happy. Yeah. But then the thing is, real passion comes when you are there is it might be Latin or a Greek word that means where passion comes from. I think it's passere. I'm not so sure. I have to look it up again. But the original word of passion, or where passion comes from, it means really suffering.
Oh.
Yes. So what are you willing
that.
to suffer for? That's why it's passion of Christ. Because Christ was willing to suffer for his cause, to save everyone from sins, in the Bible goes. And the same for us as well. That again, that's why it can be something you like, or it cannot be something you don't like. So it means basically to look into your life right now. Look into your life right now. What are the things that I was willing to give up myself or something just to attain this? And that's where your passion lies. It's already here. So for me, my passion is publishing and also helping authors realize their childhood dreams. It's because even if the industry is not here and I received so many setbacks, I still went through it. I'm willing to suffer for it. Yes. Because there are cases, like for example, traveling. People are saying, oh, my passion is to travel. Is it really? Or are you doing traveling because you have the money? You're doing traveling because it feels good. You're doing travel because it's the trend. True. But what if you don't have the money? What if no one sees your travel blogs, your photo? Are you still doing it? If you are still doing that and still passionate about despite being discouraged, then I can say that traveling is your passion because you're willing to suffer.
Even though no one is following you, no one knows about you.
True. Then that's where your passion is. You're willing to go to places where no one knows you, and you live on those rundown houses with rats, or all those and
all those bad stuff that doesn't go out in the social media.
True. That are not created in social media. That's where you can do that. You can bear that because you have the passion. That's right. So that's the tip. Number one, deeply look into yourself and see what you really are passionate about. Me, I want to go back. Me, I thought dancing was my passion. Because I really love to dance, and I was a ballet dancer when I was young. But I feel like it was also my passion at the time. It's because it was my passion at the time. It's because I was willing to give up work for it. But then right now, I have to let dancing go because I want to, do this. And and then I thought it was really dancing, but then I figured that this is what I'm willing to give up dance for this. So to sacrifice.
So what's aside from find your passion?
Yeah, finding your passion. Number two is just really starting something. Yeah, it's like whatever it is, it can
Just do
be.
it.
Yeah, just do it. Like, number one, I mean, like, oh, I don't know how to start. Just whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it. You can do like start Facebook first or what have
True,
you.
yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like even if
Or
like, just
within,
do something.
Within your family or
Or
relatives.
just within your family,
Yeah.
or just in your
Within
relatives.
friends,
Yeah, just
yeah.
really get the traction. Now, like for me, I was like, okay, how can I remember I was like, how can I'm not an accountant,
Yeah.
so I don't have any money to pay for an accountant to help me process my government permits and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go there and just see where this will lead me. So I just went to I remember DTI. Like I was researching. You
Yeah.
can start with the research.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
just researching like
You can search
how
on Google, YouTube,
Google. Yeah,
we got this.
it's
platform
just
already.
easy now
Yeah.
to do your research, and you read blogs, and then like I just researched like how to file for government permits, and that has just been, all those are just trial and errors. You just have to do not be afraid to just really just trial to have an error or to create to have a mistake, and then go all over it again. Just try again. So yeah, and you just really have to develop thick skin.
Yeah.
You just really have to develop
That's the
thick
last,
skin. Yeah.
You have to be brave.
You really
Strong.
have to be brave, mentally strong.
Yeah.
You really have to be mentally
And emotionally.
strong.
Yeah.
Emotionally too. I remember when we started, our national bookstore journey is not easy. It took 10 months, almost a year, to get that approved, and to
So
get
that
the books.
journey, yeah.
Yes, it can be very discouraging. 10 months, you
Yeah.
were like, oh, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or they just really don't believe in us. But no, and I was like, I keep on following up. I keep on adding to the momentum. I was like, hey, we're really serious, and then it
10
just
months,
happened. Yeah.
I think people should also be patient. Yeah.
That is what we need. Yeah. These things, if you want to do something worthwhile, you have to have patience, because these things take time.
Yeah. And be
These
like
things take
not
time.
and not quit that easily.
Mm.
Not give up that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be discouraged easily. Again, develop thick skin. So it's really finding your passion, start right away, develop thick skin. True.
Those three things.
Yeah. And then lastly,
Understand that,
the last thing, and I think I already mentioned it, is that be okay to just start something. Yeah. Do not, beat yourself up. Oh, it's been 5 years, it's been 10 years, I haven't accomplished anything. Your purpose might be just to start something.
Yeah. And I think people should not be, what do you call this? Be afraid to start something, because some people are afraid to start something because they might fail. And what do you call this? Like they're scared, afraid to fail because other people, their family might criticize or
True.
comment at.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
And very understandable, right? Because
Yeah.
we're all human and we need validation. One thing I've learned
yeah.
is that, validation is ingrained deep within us, because we're humans. But the only validation we need is a validation of ourselves and of
Yeah.
God, of your faith, because you cannot need validation from other people, because it's going to destroy you eventually. Yeah.
That's
So
really nice. You don't need validation from other people.
yes,
Yeah.
we need validation, but the validation we need is from ourselves, knowing that we did our best, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's true. That's really awesome. So this is gonna be like our last question.
Sure.
What are your upcoming projects,
Mm.
and where can we be updated
Yeah, so our upcoming project is we are working on a second book for another local author. It is a travel book. It is an anthology of different travel stories. So the author is a writer, and she's a traveler, and very exciting book actually. She has a chapter on life lesson. For example, she has a life lesson she learned from a stripper.
Oh.
Yeah, she met in one of her travels, and it is
Very interesting.
It is a
Yeah.
very interesting book, and I think a lot of people can really relate, especially those who are seeking why travel. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
some people say they travel because they want to find themselves, they want to see who they really are, and that book is for them. And you can we're working on it. Hopefully it will be published this year, and hopefully it will be available in National Bookstore. But if not, if they want to learn more about the book and the projects that we have so far, they can always go to our website, www.bcopublishing.com. And yeah, they can just send us an email there, and they can ask. All our books are also available there for purchase, and we ship worldwide. And yeah, if anyone listening to this podcast can also really help us by getting a copy of our first book.
Yeah, sure, guys, you should get their
Yes.
first book.
Or
it's
if
available in the National Bookstore. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're in the Philippines, you can order through National Bookstore. Yes, or through our website.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Mr. Donald, for joining us and sharing your experiences to all of the aspiring entrepreneurs and
Yes, I
business
would love
owners.
to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also
Thank
want
you,
to
Martin.
thank our venue sponsor, the company CEBU in IT Park branch. Thank you for having us also in here, and I hope you have learned a lot today, and we are hoping to hear from you. Please do let us know what you have in mind. We are more than happy to do a podcast session with your suggested topic. Comment down below or follow us on our social medias, Entrepreneur Beach Club PHTV on YouTube and Entrepreneur Beach Club PH on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, SoundCloud, and yeah. So, and of course, yeah, don't forget to follow Mr. Donald's social, which is
D&Co Publishing. We're available in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media.
I give a shout out to someone or your family.
A shout out to everyone who helped me in this journey. They know who they are. And to my authors, collaborators, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, we hope we'll be able to accomplish more.
Awesome. Please
Awesome.
don't forget to follow them, D&Co. Yeah.
D&Co Publishing.
D&Co Publishing, and also follow us, Entrepreneur Beach Club, and the company CEBU. Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Spread the productivity, and see you on the next podcast.